Hey ladies, today I have the absolute pleasure of chatting with an amazing lady boss named Miss Christina Hicks. She is a lady boss legend that has been here since 2019. She is a wife, a mom of four, a certified coach herself, and the creator of the famous Lady Boss Lean Mermaid Water. Hey Lady Boss, welcome to Lady Boss Unplugged, the podcast where real women have real conversations about crushing their goals, building unstoppable confidence, and creating lives they absolutely love. Hi, I'm Caitlin Talamonte, CEO and owner of LadyBoss, wife, mom of two boys, and your biggest cheerleader. Do you remember when mommy looked like that?
Way not similar.
Each week, we'll dive into stories, strategies, and straight up motivation to help you show up as the best version of you. Because let's be honest, you are made for more. So whether you're driving the kids to practice, hitting the treadmill, or just taking a moment for yourself, get ready to laugh, learn, and leave inspired. LadyBoss gives you the tools to not only hit your weight loss or your health and fitness goals, but to believe in yourself. This is LadyBoss Unplugged, where women like you rise, thrive, and shine. Today, we're going to dive into how Christina has overcome her life with all sorts of twists and turns, the ups and downs of motherhood and coaching, and finding her way and stepping up to coaching, but also stepping down. In her journey, there's highs and lows, just like with everyone else's, and she's here to give us all her ins and outs and insights that she has been going through over the last couple of years. Christina, how are you doing today? Thank you for being with us.
Hi, I am good. I'm excited. I'm excited to be doing this and so honored.
Well, I am honored that you said yes when I asked you to be on the podcast. I was like, please say yes, please say yes, please say yes. And then you were like shocked that I would ever ask. And I was like, what? Like, I'm scared you're going to tell me no. I'm really excited.
That's really funny. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm really humbled. I guess I just don't expect any of this. And lots of feelings, but like feeling like I don't deserve any of it. But I'm very, very honored that you asked, and so excited to just say all the things and tell people all the things.
Well, you are definitely very worthy and very deserving of this, and I'm very excited to have you. And I know lots of the lady bosses that are listening are like, "Oh, what is she going to tell us?" Because a lot of them have followed your story for a long time, but we also have a lot of new lady bosses that don't really know who Christina is. So, you want to tell us a little bit about your lady boss journey so far?
Oh my gosh. It's been a wild ride. So yes, I'm a stay-at-home mom of four. I've been staying at home since my oldest, she's now 10. And I'm a wife, a trucker's wife. And I did everything on my own for a while because he was over the road. And then I decided to try LadyBoss. Well, actually LadyBoss decided to try me. Let's just say that because I seen a video as most of you probably have seen, Kaylin, the founder, obviously jumping up and down on the trampoline. And I was just like, okay, like I have to listen. What's going on? What's happening? And I've tried a lot of things before then. So I seen that and I was like, I'm keeping an eye on this and I want to do some research. So I started following on like Instagram and seeing all the amazing women's transformations. And I'm just like, if they can do that, then I can do that. Right. Like, right. So then I was like, okay, hubby, come end of January, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy the transformation package that you guys had at that one point in time. And so sure enough, I did. And I got all the things, the recipe book, and it just completely transformed my life.
Oh, I love that. I love hearing that. So I got to ask, was the social that you saw like that switch of like, okay, something's got to change, or were you already trying to get on track with your health and fitness and just didn't know where to start?
So I think if I remember correctly, yes, in 2018, I was trying keto because my cousin was successful on it and a lot of people, and actually that was like the big thing at that time, keto. So I tried that, but I didn't really like all the restrictions that it had like on all the things that I loved. So I kind of gave up on that. Yes. Did I lose a little bit of weight from that? Yeah, I did. But then again, I was like, ugh, like I can't really do much like that I love, or like go out and do this and that. So it was too restrictive for me. And I was like, man, I'm just never going to find anything that like fits what I'm looking for. And again, all these diets that I have done were just all single. They were just me. They were all isolated. Right. And then like, yes, I seen the social, and I seen her jumping up down the trampoline, and I listened, and I, like I said, I did the research. I went on you guys on the web page, and I did all the research there, what you guys had to offer, and then the Instagram. And I probably for like 3 months just stalked LadyBoss for 3 months, and then then something inside me was like, it's time. Just take the plunge. Like, what's it gonna hurt? It's just gonna be one more program that didn't work. Oh well, right? So I went in, and like I said, I bought the transformation package. I got into the community group, and I was like, holy cow, what is this? Women have a hard time supporting other women out in the world. I mean, such a hard time, and it's so sad to see. But then you get in this community of women who are there cheering each other on, supporting each other, like hyping each other up, being each other's cheerleaders. And I'm just like, wow, like this literally exists. This is crazy to me. Because again, with all the other programs or diets out there, there's it's just you. There's no community and community of women who are there to honestly help you and help you grow, which was, I think, probably I think that's the key to why I stayed and transformed myself, is because I didn't feel alone. I had this community of amazing people.
I love that. Oh, so much truth there. I mean, you talk about all the times that you tried other things and failed, and I've got my own 2 cents on keto because it is very restrictive, like many are. Like a lot of the diets out there, there's some sort of restrictive you have to do, and let's be real. Like I'm not gonna do anything restricted for the rest of my life, and then to let alone do it alone and feel like, where do you turn to when you have questions, when you're stuck, when you plateau, when you're having crazy cravings? That community is powerful.
I'm telling you, I think that's what truly saved me from myself, and just completely set me on the course where I'm at now. Like because again, I've tried other things, and they obviously didn't stick. They didn't work. I didn't feel in touch with anybody. There was no tribe there. And then Lady Boss, something I've never heard in my entire life, had then randomly popped up on my Facebook, and I was just like, whoa, like what is this? And
Wow.
I'm not a pink person either, but dude, did I'm telling you, where I wore all the pink, I made sure I pink everywhere to also help me remind myself, like, I have a tribe, I have a community, I want to be a lady boss, I want to be fierce, I want to be a better version of myself. And so pink was in everywhere.
I love it. Okay, well, as you know now, Lady Boss is rebranded, and yes, we kept her pink, but what do you think of the other colors? Are those more up your alley?
Oh my gosh, yes. I love it so much. It's just like very much like peaceful, fresh air, like tropical vibes. Like I love it. Absolutely love it.
I love that. I love hearing that. I love our Lady Boss pink, but I'm a blue person. I'm not really a purple person, but I can rock some purple. Like I'm gonna toot my horn for a moment. It's like all those colors came together so well. I'm like, yeah, breath of fresh air, fun, Lady Boss.
Yes, I
I love
completely
it.
agree. Teal is definitely my favorite color. So seeing like just those mixes of colors, it was just like very calming to my eyes, and just like, oh yes.
I'm so glad you love it. So 2019 was what, 6 years ago now? Yeah, 6 years, 6 whole years ago.
Yeah.
A long, long time. um, and I know a bit. I know. I wouldn't say I know your story very, very well, but I have followed you myself in the Lady Boss community for a very long time. Hence why I wanted to have you on our podcast so bad. And you have done some incredible things over the last couple of years that have pushed you even further in your fitness and nutrition and health journey. So can you tell me a little bit more, like how'd you evolve into doing more hit workouts and getting as involved in boxing? I know you did boxing pretty big for a while there, and then you worked on your mindset, and then you became a coach. Can you tell me about that whole evolution?
Okay, so kind of going back to the beginning, I just fully focused on nutrition only for about 3 months because I knew that that's where my biggest weakness was. I love food. I'm a huge foodie, like huge foodie. Love me some food, even to this day. Give me the food. Um, so I'm a huge foodie. So focused 3 months solely just on nutrition, and then after 3 months, I felt pretty good. I kind of put my own taste on the recipes that I was using. So I was like, all right, I got this. Now I'm good. Now let's get into some like workouts. So I did very basic workouts. Like, I mean, when I say basic, I mean like I did just push ups, squats, sit-ups, some jumping jacks, and that was like it. That was it. No weights, no nothing put in there yet. And it was just very minimal, like 5 to 10 per one, and I just did it once. But to me, it was better than nothing, and I'm very much just starting out. Didn't want to put a lot of pressure on myself. And then in 2019, September, I was like, all right, well, for my birthday, I'm going to do a 28-day challenge and get into all that. So I did. And then we did the ABH workouts. And so I really, really liked that. And then after the 20-day challenge, I decided to get the Lifer, the app, which has the ABH workouts in it. And then I just started doing that. And then while involved in that, I started feeling really good, very confident. And then I was like, ooh, I'm going to try some boxing. And I know a person who does boxing and I love her to death. And so I go to her boxing classes and oh my gosh, just the like, I don't know if I can say this, but the badassery that I felt while boxing was just like amazing. Felt like a total like warrior, let me tell you. Just it was just so nice. And then I was like, all right, well maybe I need to start dabbling into something else. I kind of like got burnt out on boxing, got burnt out on like some of the hit workouts. And then I actually just started trying to do running, and I was doing that pretty well for a while, and then not fractured, but severely sprained my ankle again. And then I had to wait, and then I got into lifting. Lifting's my new jam. I absolutely love lifting. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Sure.
And I can lift some heavy things, so that's amazing. Mindset though came along with the 28-day challenge. I didn't really start working on my mindset until then. And I think that's another reason why nothing previous had worked before, because my mindset was still crap. I still very much didn't like myself. I still very much didn't like the person I was or how I looked. And I don't need to start crying because I hate going back to that part of me and remembering that, because it was a very dark place, and I just want to hug my past self and like, it's going to be better. We're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. But in the first week of the 28-day challenge, you talk about mindset. And one of the biggest things was that we had to dig deep, like real deep, like not this, I think it was Jessica that was talking about like the ocean, and you have to go deep into the ocean to really find the truth and the why. And that hit home with me, and it made me really, really think. And I was like, ooh, okay. So I really started transforming my mindset there. I did affirmations all the time. I really, really pounded into myself that I was worthy. I was capable. If I'm being held back, it's only because of me. Nobody else in the world, no situation, literally myself, that I am actually beautiful inside and out. I'm actually a warrior. I'm a good mom. I'm a good wife. I'm a good friend. I deserve my own love. And so it was something that I said to myself on the day, like every single day, every morning, all throughout the day. I had them up in my room. I had them up in the kitchen. I had them up in the bathroom. I had them up like literally everywhere to make sure that my mindset would change, because I needed it. I needed it to change. And not only that, then I had the community of women also cheering me on, telling me how awesome I was, instead of always being told how terrible I am or how ugly and fat and stupid I am. I had these women telling me how amazing I was. So that really changed a lot in my journey. And then I kept being told, you need to be a coach. You need to be a coach. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I'm just here for y'all. Like, what do you mean? And then I was like, all right, well, I'll look into it, I guess. And I looked into it and I was like, all right, I'm scared. I'm nervous because I was really bad at school. So I don't know how this is going to go. And then my husband's like, no, you'll be fine because you love this kind of stuff. So like, you'll be great at it. And I was like, all right. Got the certification done in 2 months instead of 3. So there's that. Um, yeah. And then it just flew from there.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. Working on that mindset is so huge, and it's like I wish I could like reach through the computer screen and tell people like that's where it starts. But we want the number on the scale to go down. We want our clothes to fit better, right? Like we don't realize the value in working on those other things like your mindset.
Literally. Yeah. I never realized how big of a part your mind takes in your health and fitness journey. Because if you keep telling yourself that you can't do it, then you're right. You can't, and you won't ever. You'll come up with all the excuses and then some to fail. You're literally self sabotaging yourself. So then you got to switch from this all or nothing mindset or perfection mindset to a growth mindset. And that's hard in itself, and it's not easy by any means. And still to this day, I have some all or nothing mindset and perfection mindset. But luckily, the growth mindset outweighs all that, and I can like be like, Tina, snap out of it. Like, what are you doing? And then get back to what I was doing. Yeah, mindset literally will help you grow or stop you from growing.
Yep, it is so true. And it's what I say all the time is it's nothing that ever goes away. It's not like you hit your mindset goal and you're done with it. Like you constantly have to be pouring into your mindset because that negative Nancy, she'll come back real quick. And in fact, she doesn't even matter of comeback. She lives there. And she likes to pipe up sometimes. And yeah, that power, that positive Betty, as I'm going to call her, has to be louder than that negative Nancy. And tell her to shush and pour into herself that she is worthy and capable.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mindset is definitely something that you have to work on every single day and actually be super aware of it. Like super aware. It's crazy how aware you have to be on the constant, and it can seem at first like daunting and draining. It gets easier. You won't have to be thinking about it as much because it'll become something that's automatically done. I like to say to flip the switch. You always have to flip the switch. You always have to turn things around. So if you're like, I'm not doing good at this, flip the switch. Is it you're not doing good at it because this is your first time doing it? Because this is something new you've never done before? So you actually have to learn how to do it? Like, could that be the case? Do you need to ask for help? Like that type of thing. Or I'm ugly. Are you really like, let's flip this, let's flip it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty. I'm beautiful. I'm amazing. I'm a warrior. I'm whatever the case may be that you need to hear. Say it to yourself all day, every day, and always flip that script.
I love that. Flip that script. I mean, even hard times, mindset or life, if you could find the one little strand of goodness that you see during those hard times, maybe there's more than one, but find an ounce of goodness and focus on that rather than focusing on the negative. I mean, can you imagine like if the entire world could grasp that concept, what a prettier place it would be?
Oh my gosh. I just wish. I wish.
You said it earlier when you were like, women don't build other women up. It's kind of, it's battle of the women for whatever reason. It is so true. Women are not the nicest to each other, and we all are struggling with the same demons and battles.
And society. We have society against us. And so then we're pinning ourselves against each other. And it's something, unfortunately, as I had gotten further and further into my journey, that I started getting more hate from women. And I'm just like, but why? Like, I want to help you. I'm not here to like get whatever you think I'm trying to get from this. I literally want to help you. Just because you see where I'm at now doesn't mean that's where where I've always been. I was you, if not worse, or whatever the case may be. Like, women don't understand how strong we truly are because we're so pinned against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like so pinned against each other. And again, society and the world has helped that, which is terrible. So we need to flip that around. We need to help each other. We need to build each other up, be each other's friends. There's no jealousy here. Like there doesn't need to be any envy. We want to help each other. So let's help each other and let's rule the world, guys. Come on now.
Yes, preach. I got goosebumps, Christina. Like, yes, you're speaking my love language right now. I'm like, yes. That's what, I mean, I can't tell you, like, I'm going to actually want to do a whole podcast on this particular topic. But so I'm not going to tell the story, but it honestly breaks my heart when someone approaches you, especially another female, that is coming off from the jealous or threatened standpoint. And it's so heartbreaking because that's not my goal. My goal is to inspire you and motivate you and encourage you and be there for you. So it always breaks my heart a little bit when it's like, why? Like, am I doing something? Like, what do I need to? Because, and I know, no, it's their own demon, but that's something I've had to learn myself is that, okay, is there ways for me to improve? Probably. There's always ways for us to improve. But they are also dealing with their own demons. And all I can do is love and support them and hope and pray for the best for them. But it's so heartbreaking when they're not ready, I guess is the best way to put it. They're not ready to start having that growth in themselves.
Yeah, it's really sad because knowing where we came from and we know where they're at and knowing where they could be, and you were just like, the light is there at the end of the tunnel, just keep going, just keep pushing, I promise you, like, don't be envious and jealous of me, like, let me help you, let me help guide you, I've done this before. Like, I'm not saying I'm a pro, but I'm saying I know I have some experience, and I know what I did worked for me and actually has helped a ton of people. And that's what I want for all women, even the women that hate me. I want you to grow. I want you to be better for yourself. I want you to succeed. I hope that I get to see you thrive. I'll be cheering for you.
I love it. Yeah, I want what I have found, what you have found for every woman out there. Because gosh, I mean, you've said it, there's so much power when you find the you inside of you. When you love yourself, when you know you're worthy, when you know you're capable, even though it's a constant battle, it's like a whole nother level of life you get to live. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's kind of like you're in a dream, but it's reality. Like, I never would have thought I would be here where I'm at today. If you would have asked me 6 years ago, I'd be like, absolutely not. You're crazy. Like, there ain't no way. I'd be there. Nope. But here I am, I guess.
Because you took the first step. So, I mean, during those first steps, because it wasn't all pretty and butterflies and roses, right? What were some of the biggest challenges you faced? Not just early on, but throughout the last 6 years of this journey. And how have you overcome them?
Oh, man. Challenges. Definitely who I surrounded myself with in the beginning. I come to realize that they weren't really there for me. And I was just a stepping stone, basically, for them, or a doormat, which I know a lot of women and a lot of you women understand that. And that we were just like, majority of us women are just doorsteps for a lot of people, unfortunately. But yeah, so it was like surrounding myself with the correct people, people who were truly there to help support me and cheer me up and that type of thing. My self image was another really hard one. I would still I still occasionally do it to this day, which is terrible, but it's the reality. I will stand in front of the mirror and just pick out all the things that I hate about my body. So I have a sag. I've had 4 kids, 4 C-sections, also lost weight. So I have a belly sag, and I can't stand it. It makes me feel gross. So seeing myself in clothes or certain kinds of clothes was really a hard thing to like get over. And I don't mean like getting over, because I ended up working through it. Yes, my body looks the way it is. Yes, I don't love it. But yes, I also have 4 beautiful, amazing children who are healthy and strong and independent little tards. Yes, stopped taking care of myself. But now my body shows that I am taking care of myself, and I am giving back to me, and I am being a better version of myself that my children can look up to. Um, Other issues, I guess, would be just life as well. Life gets lifey, and it can get lifey really quickly. I recently lost my grandmother in September. My husband and I had some marital issues at the beginning of 2023. So those were really hard times, especially my husband and I's issues. It was really, really bad. Luckily, we're fine now. Everything's good. Like, everything's great. We were able to mend things and work things out, and we're way stronger than what we were before. So that was really heavy on my mind. I didn't feel, again, worthy. I felt like garbage. I felt like trash. I felt like the worst thing in the world. And then I just worked on, okay, we got to flip the script because it takes two to tango, and all the things I would tell myself. And then with my grandma passing, her passing was very long. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, and so it took her, unfortunately, forever to go. She declined like slowly and then rapidly, really fast, and she got really bad, and it was really hard, and all of my energy and focus was put on helping my dad because that's my dad's mom, so helping my dad get through it, making sure he's okay. I was the call that he would make all the time when he needed somebody to talk to. So I kind of switched my energy around from focusing fully on me to putting it more towards my family at the time, because sometimes we do need to do that in life and in our journey, where we do need to shift our energies to other areas that may need it at that point in time, and realizing that it's just temporary, but don't stick and stay in that temporary. That's also very important to know, which is something also hard to do, or hard not to do. Anyways, it's it's easier said than done to come out of it, because then you become, because you're then used to those habits of staying there, because that's something that you used to do 6 years ago, right? And so old habits do really die hard. To this day, I still have to fight my old habits. So going through that and then shifting my energy back onto me was really hard, and I battled it for quite some time, which then affected my work, affected me as like coaching abilities. Well, I thought it did. My clients, on the other hand, would still love me, which I love them to death, so thank you for that. Or my ex-clients. But I then ended up to realize I had to step down and then fully focus on me. So
That there's so much power in that, right? So you heard Christina say her ex clients. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what she means by that is she recently stepped down from coaching because she knew she had to take care of herself. While she loves her coaching clients and all that she's seen through them and done with them, she knew like now you have to focus on yourself, right? Like there's just those different seasons.
yeah, it was a really hard choice to make. I think it took me about a couple of months. I talked to my husband about it, talked to my best friend about it before I officially made the decision, and it just kept coming to me like in dreams and feelings and emotions, just like it's time, Tina. It is time to step away and do you, like be you, and focus on you. My nutrition was off. My lifting was hit and miss. My water was off. My sleep was okay. It wasn't bad. Like hours and quality weren't bad, but everything else was very much off, and I felt terrible. I felt like blah and just not comfortable in my skin, and I did not like looking in the mirror. I stopped taking photos of myself. I wanted to be out of photos. I just really hid my body, and I then was like, okay, unfortunately it's time. It sucks, but my clients will understand, and thank God they did. I don't know why I had any doubt, but they did, and I cried for the last 2 weeks I was coaching. So yeah, so my ex clients, and I love them to death still, and they still say, "Hey, if you start coaching again, let me know." I was like, "Okay." But I do feel a lot better now. It's still some mental things that I have to work through, but I'm feeling a lot better. I feel a lot of like less pressure, and I feel more myself, and physically I feel better. I've been doing well on my nutrition for almost a month now. I've been lifting consistently for this is my week 3. Water's been great for 2 weeks now. So like everything, my household chores are back to being where they need to be, like, so I'm keeping up on stuff. So everything feels really good, and I feel better in my body. I feel less bloated. I feel good. I feel just happier and at peace, which is like a bittersweet, because like obviously I miss coaching and being there, but it doesn't mean I won't eventually. But it's nice.
You never know though. This is a new season. You what where you might be 6 months a year from now might be even bigger and grander than coaching. I'm not saying coaching is a big grit. It totally is, right?
Right.
But like your next season might just be even more of an undertaking that you have no idea what that is yet. You
Yeah,
know?
we never know what's to come by any means.
Not at all. So, what advice would you give women who are struggling to put themselves first? Because yeah, it was a hard decision you had to make just recently. So, what would you give to the women in your shoes for some advice?
It's not easy. My advice is go into it knowing it's not easy. It feels icky. It feels gross when you first start doing it because it's something foreign and it's something that we're not really taught. Especially by the older generation, we're very much taught put the man first, put the kids first, put everybody first before yourself, which to an extent, right? Because we deserve to take care of ourselves. And I will tell you this, you when you take care of you, you also take care of your children. When you take care of you, you also are taking care of your husband. When you prioritize you, you are also prioritizing your children. Because let's say you're not prioritizing yourself, which we all don't, right? You're grumpier. You're quick to like yell. You have less patience. You just overall in a bad mood. That means you're doing that to your children. You're doing that to your husband. No matter how much we try to stop it, it's going to happen because you're just not feeling you. You're feeling trapped. You're feeling like you lost your identity. Just take that one step of like, I'm making a meal for me. I'm taking 5 minutes out of the day and doing a small workout or doing a walk, or I'm going to read or do something self-care wise that you love. Just take that small step and it won't, over time, it won't feel so icky and it'll feel very natural and your kids will understand it. Your husband will understand it. Like for workouts with me, I had to take some time out of my day of playing with my kids and doing house chores, which sucked because I'm like, oh my gosh, to do this workout. And eventually my kids started working out with me and then they just left me alone. They're like, oh, what's mom doing? I want to join too. Just continue to do it anyways, even if they're climbing all over you, even if you get interrupted, just do it anyways. Go back to it. There are plenty of times where I'm doing my walks downstairs and my kids are like, Mom, upstairs, and I have to go figure out what's going on. And I figure out what happens, solve it, and then I go back downstairs to finish me time because that's important too. I feel more accomplished in the day already when I do that. And that makes me feel good. That makes me feel happier, makes me feel more loved. That means I get more love and happiness to my children. So again, when you take care of you, you are also taking care of your children. You're also taking care of your husband. You're also taking care of your household and your friends properly. Because when you don't take care of you, you're actually failing them. Maybe think of it that way. When you stop taking care of you, you're failing them.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Nope.
So from 2019 to now, 6 years. You said your oldest is 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would mean she was 4 at the time. How have you, I guess it would be your husband and your oldest, in the last 6 years, how has your Lady Boss journey impacted them? Like, have you seen the growth that you've had translate to them?
Yes, which is absolutely, it melts my heart because I think of how I grew up and having, your mom not take care of herself and she's very down on herself, always hated her image, which again affected me. I hated my image. I hated myself. Like it was very much, everyone's too fat or whatever the case may be. Well, I wanted my children, my daughters to have something better. I wanted them to be able to have a role model in the house that loved herself, took care of herself, was proud of herself. So my daughters, they very much, when any kids pick on them at school, they come home and they tell me, unfortunately, Noella, she's such a beautiful little girl, bright blue eyes, long hair, just a petite, beautiful little thing. And smart and funny on all things. And she's like, they called me ugly and this. And I'm like, okay, do you believe that? And she goes, no. And I was like, well, good, because you're not. And they're like, I was like, do you think you're dumb? And she goes, no. And I'm like, good, because you're absolutely not. So occasionally we'll do affirmations in the mornings with each other. I'll be like, you're so pretty. Where'd you get that from? She goes, I got it from my mom. And eating habit wise too, they're pretty well balanced. Fruits, veggies, proteins. Yes, do they have an occasional soul food? Absolutely, because mommy does too, because we have to have both soul foods and goal foods. Come on now. Having that balance in moderation. They still have their candies and chips and stuff like that, but it's very much in moderation. And they prefer to have fruits and veggies anyways. Let's be serious. My kids love fruits and veggies. They would love to have that over anything. So yes, so luckily, and thanks to all the things in the world, I was able to change myself when they were at a young age so they could have a mom who loves herself and treats herself well and talks to herself kindly, and they're able to grow up with that confidence already.
I got goosebumps again. I love that. That's another reason I love that I get to do what I get to do, because when you grow up in that broken household and just not feeling enough, feeling that you're always wrong or not good enough or whatever it is, you want to break that chain. You don't want your kids to, our goal as mama bears is to protect our kids, right? And to be honest, we probably protect them way more than we probably should, right? But you never want them to not believe in themselves. You don't ever want them to have that feeling that you did because of whatever happened in your past. And you've got that power to choose. Are you going to let your past impact your future and keep it rolling? Or are you going to be the difference? You make the change.
Yep, I definitely wanted to break that generational trauma, if that's what you want to call it. I definitely wanted to break that. I didn't want my kids, I didn't want them to look at themselves in the mirror and say, I'm ugly and I'm stupid and I'm fat, because I know how that feels. And it's something that I said to myself since I can remember. I didn't want that for them because that would devastate me. And maybe that's something that you can also think of is, would you be okay with your children saying to themselves what you say to yourself? Would you be okay with your best friend saying that to themselves? Would you be okay with even your mom, your niece, your grandmother? Like, would you be okay with people that you care about saying the things that you say to yourself to themselves? No, you wouldn't. So how about you make a promise to yourself for once? Please take care of yourself. Please talk kindly to yourself. You've been through enough. You've been through a lot. You don't have to get it from you too.
Yep. Nope. We actually have rules in my house, and they might seem silly rules to you ladies listening, but I don't ever want my kids to look at the world in judgment, which unfortunately it's just the human nature, right? That's where you got to turn off that negative Nancy and flip the script. But there's certain words that are not allowed in our house. I don't care if you're talking about yourself or the dog or the big juicy steak we just pulled out. But like fat, the word fat is not allowed in our house. And we've got a couple words where I'm like, no, we don't talk like that. Like, and I know it sounds weird, like us people don't talk like that. I kind of hate that phrase, but everybody is beautiful. No matter their shape, their size, their this, their that. Everybody is beautiful. We shouldn't throw words around like fat. As simple of a word as it may seem, it can cause so much damage.
Yeah, well, it's been put out into society as a terrible negative word. So even when I talk to people about like, oh, actually, let me say myself, when I'm like, yeah, I still have fat to lose, my husband will look at me and be like, excuse me? What did you just say? Like he hates that word too, which I don't just like, I don't like the word either. But again, it's because society has deemed that word to be negative and horrible and terrible. And so when I'm like, yeah, I still have fat to lose, people just look at me like, fat? Like you're not fat. And I was like, I never said I was. I just said I still have fat to lose because we're humans. We have fat on our bodies. Hello, like come on. And I'm not saying I need to get down to like size 1 by any means. Nothing against people who are size 1 by any means. Nothing wrong with that. I personally know that I can't get there with how my body is made up, and that's okay and something that I've come to terms with. But yeah, fat is definitely a harsh word. Even if you're talking in scientific, it still feels gross to say.
Mm-hmm. It does for sure. So, bringing up fat. Actually, I'm going to pause for a minute. Ladies, if you are still with us and you are listening, I mentioned earlier that Miss Hicks here created an amazing LadyBoss Lean mermaid water many, many years ago. And hold on to the end because I'm hoping we're going to get her to be able to give us the recipe here live with us. So hang on to the end. You don't want to miss this deliciousness that she created many years ago. So I know during your LadyBoss journey, you hit your scale goal like mid 2020.
Yeah, so it was summer of 2020.
That's an incredible achievement. But I also, because I followed your story for a while, your goals changed. You hit that scale goal that you had, and from what I could tell, correct me if I'm wrong, you stayed really happy with where you were at. But then you started lifting, and that changed, didn't it? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I did hit my scale goal of 150. I was extremely proud of myself for that. It was something that I've been wanting to see for a long time, and I was like, yes. Again, I didn't know a lot about muscle and the body at that time. So I did a lot of like cardio and hit and kickboxing, that type of thing to get the weight loss, which is, again, is fine, to each their own. Obviously, if you love that, pop off. And I did love it. I'm not saying I didn't, because I did. And then I was like, I'm gonna start building muscle. I just want to start building some muscle. Let's see how that is. So then yes, then I started going to the gym. Actually, my parents' home gym, because free, and I have children. So I went to the home gym and started lifting. My dad helped me out with some kind of like basic moves for all the muscle groups, which was great, but very much random. But it was doing what it needed to do at the time, which was getting me familiar with the gym and the moves and stuff like that. So that was great. And then I sprained my ankle. Then I had to stop everything. So there was that. And then I got pregnant in 2020, at the end of 2020, which was planned, because I told my husband we're not having 3 kids. We need to have 2 or 4, and we're at 3, so now we need to have 4. So then I got pregnant, and then my goal obviously shifted from weight loss to kind of maintaining where I was at, because I did gain some weight after I sprained my ankle. But yeah, then I shifted to a pregnancy standpoint and trying to just have a better pregnancy at that point in time. So yes, I went from getting my weight loss goal and hitting that and doing amazing things, and then lifting, and then bam, I had to change things around.
You constantly have to be navigating the waters, right? Like life's going to throw all sorts of curveballs, expected or unexpected,
Oh
right?
yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. And you have to have, I always tell people, have plan A through Z. Just have your backups, because you never know what's going to happen.
You definitely are. 6 years is a long time. Again, we've talked about, your highs and your lows and the big pieces that were your aha moments. And we haven't dug too deep on the burnout piece of it, because we can't always be on, right?
Correct.
And so can you talk more about, your burnout stages and how do you work through those? And maybe even elaborate to some of these ladies who might not know, what is burnout?
Oh my gosh. So burnout is basically where you feel like you physically are just tired all the time for no reason. No reason at all. You wake up tired, and you're tired throughout the day, again, for no reason. You could sleep all the hours and have the greatest sleep in the world, but you're still feeling blah, even in a depressive mode. Nothing sounds great. Nothing feels good. Everything is just very much blah. Nothing sparks the interest anywhere. And this can last for a while. And yes, I definitely had several times throughout the 6 years that I've had burnout, and they are terrible and they suck so bad. Actually, I'm just getting myself pulled out of another one. So it's basically where you work yourself up, and you're doing all the things all the time consistently for God knew whatever, how long. And then eventually you just get to the point where you're like, I just don't want to do it. I'm done. That's literally your burnout. You're burnt out because you kept putting yourself through all of that all the time without any breaks. Breaks are important. Rest. When your body says to rest, rest. When your mind says to rest, rest. It's not laziness. It's not anything along those lines. Your body truly does need that rest. So like, and then beating yourself up all the time because you get sick and then you can't do a workout, or because you went out to eat and enjoyed yourself with your friends and you're getting yourself mad about that. Like all those things will literally add you up to a burnout. Pulling yourself out of a burnout is so hard. It's so hard. I just kept pushing. So even though I was too tired to cook, I would at least make some quick meal up, because apparently I'm really good at quick, easy meals to throw together. So I would just throw a quick. Huh?
You need to share some of those.
I know, I know. So I make sure I have all the time like frozen chickens that I can just like thaw in the microwave, or I'll have canned chicken to just be able to make something out of it. Very much easy things to throw together. I don't have to really think about. So I'll make sure I have that with nutrition, and I'll just eat that, knowing kind of like what I need to eat and what that kind of looks like, and I'll just kind of gist it from there, not worrying about too much of it, but just making sure I'm eating and eating things that have that balance in them. Because I don't want to say healthy, because healthy also has some negative terms around it too. But having a balance in my diet. For workouts, even though I was too tired, I would go anyways. And even if I was just doing body weight, at least I got up and did it. For self care, yes, those do count as my self care. So like my morning walks, I would get up in my morning walks and I would read, even though I didn't want to, because I was too tired from whatever reason. Right, I was too tired. So I get up and did my walks anyways and read. My self care, again, that's something that I enjoy to do and I love it. I've gotten into Black Ops, COD gaming. So I made sure I would play an hour a day with my best friend and we would have a great time. And I would get that done. I would make sure I at least have a load of laundry done a day, because again, having my house put together, making sure laundry's good to go, having a clean kitchen, that also makes me feel good. Yes, is it daunting to do those things? Absolutely. But I always kept reminding myself, I'm going to love it when I'm done. I'm going to love it when I get it done. It's going to be fine once I get it done. I'm going to feel better once I lift. I'm going to feel better if I eat this food. I'm going to feel better once I get this load of laundry done. It's just constant reminding of yourself, like, yes, I don't want to do this. I'm too tired and don't have the energy, but I'm not going to regret doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I will regret not doing it. I'm always yelling at past self. I'm always yelling like, Tina, if you would have just done these dishes last night, we wouldn't be here this morning.
I love that.
I'm always doing that. So it's pushing through the tiredness, the depressiveness. And again, it's easier said than done. I completely get it and I understand that. Again, I'm literally still to this day pushing myself out of a burnout. Recognizing it, for one, is huge. Recognizing that you're in a burnout stage is top tier. That's your first step into the right direction. Then from there, it's really making yourself do things that you enjoy, and also doing things that you want, or that you kind of need to do with something that you want to do. So making that walk a little sexier. So as in, make it more appealing, make it more appeasing to yourself. Read a book, watch your favorite show, watch a movie, listen to some amazing music. While you're doing laundry, put on a show, listen to an audible, like do something along those lines. So make those things that you have to do into something a little sexier and more fun and more like, catches your eye type of thing. So that's how I've kind of gotten through it, is definitely hardcore self-care. Hardcore. It's so hardcore that I kind of forget sometimes things for around the house. But I'm getting myself out of the burnout, and that's all that really matters, so that I can actually show up properly for everybody else. So
Nope, and that's okay. That's part of it. You can't pick up all the pieces. That's what ended up in burnout, right? So, okay. So, how are you finding your way back now? Prioritizing yourself.
yeah, so I'm finding my way back by finding what makes me, what makes me happy, what makes me feel like I'm living on cloud nine, which again, that feeling doesn't stay all the time, but you can stay in that feeling for more times than not. So again, it's very much just, what do I like? What do I like to do? Who do I like to be around? And then I just surround myself with those things and those people. I enjoy riding four-wheelers, so I make sure I go and do that when we can, when it's not too cold here, because Ohio is, it's very cold. My Jeep is another thing. My Jeep is one of my favorite things in the world. It's my baby, and I love looking at her and driving her around and showing her off. So, yes, literally, literally. Absolutely. Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
love it.
And then reading one of my favorite series. They just dropped a new book, so I was really stoked to go.
Onyx.
Hey, I have 15 chapters left, and I'm so excited. Yes,
Did you release it like 3 days ago?
it was like a couple weeks ago.
I saw the post for like the Target line the other day.
Yeah. I hear all that was crazy. I literally pre-ordered mine the moment it dropped to be pre-ordered. I pre-ordered that sucker and had it shipped to my house. So I was like just waiting for it to get here. But and I also pre-ordered the Audible. So I had that right away before the book got here. So I started listening to it before the book got here. It's just very much a lot of self-care. And also not just the mental part, but the physical self-care part too. As a lot of us moms know, which I know a lot of you moms probably struggle with as well, hygiene and taking care of ourselves, like body wise, and making sure we're taking showers appropriately and all the things. So that's still something I'm still working on. I was really good at it in 2020. And then, like I said, I had gotten pregnant, and then everything kind of went from there, because when you have a newborn, obviously it's harder to get in those hygiene things, right? So it's just battling that old habit once again. So I also make sure I want to take showers, have my hair down. I make sure that my brows are dyed, so I have some brows. Maybe
I
put a little bit
know.
mess. Literally, girl, I'm telling you. Whew. But I sometimes I'll put some mascara on to like make me physically feel good as well. So again, it's a lot of self-care in a lot of different areas that's pulling me out of this burnout, that's making me feel back to me being me, having that spark again. Like my creativity is even coming back. So I'm like on Canva doing all sorts of things. Like I'm just,
There's that next season right there already
dude,
leaking out.
all sorts of things. I have all sorts of ideas. Like I have a notes filled with ideas for in this year. So just lots of amazing things that are just popping from my brain now. So it's great.
We're gonna have to be watching out for you this year. Something's coming.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
What does success look like for you today compared to when you first started?
Oh man, that has also crazily changed. So when I first started my weight loss journey, it was just that, just for weight loss. My success I defined back then was to get down to 150 pounds, was to lose the weight. That's all that I cared about. I wanted to see that number change. Obviously now, as being a coach, the education, the research that I've done on all the things, I've now known that muscle does weigh quite a bit, and it will change that number. Even if you are 150 pounds, you get to that weight goal and you start lifting, you're going to add, right? Add muscle, which means it's going to add onto the scale. So that number has now become, nah, don't even care about that scale number, because it literally doesn't mean anything. It doesn't show the muscle mass I've grown. It doesn't show like if I didn't poop, let's be honest, like it doesn't show all those things. So literally, so that scale number can always fluctuate. So always determining your progress and success off of that number is going to really, is going to put a hankering in your progress, honestly, and how you look at yourself and your journey and all those things. But now success for me looks like just continuing to show up for myself, no matter how hard it is, no matter what it looks like. I just always, if I can continue to show up for myself, even if it's just for my walk in the morning and that's it, I call that a successful day, because that's all I can have for that moment. Like you have to work with your try level. I'm not going to always have 100% try level. I'm not going to be able to always hit all my marks every single day. So if my try level is at 1%, I'm going to work with that 1%. And that's another win. And that's another successful thing, is now today I have this growth mindset, and I have that self-compassion, dude. Let me tell you, I have that self-compassion, which is a game changer. Game changer. Having that compassion for myself is amazing, because then I'm not beating myself up constantly. I'm not tearing myself down because I didn't do X, Y, and Z. It's very much just like, okay, so this is how I'm feeling today. This is how I'm going to readjust my schedule. Again, plan A through Z, right? And I'm going to feel successful in this day no matter what happens, because I can still do something. So it's no longer focused on that scale. It's no longer even physical. It's very much like, how do I mentally feel? And if I'm mentally feeling good, then I succeeded that day. Then I am a success, because I know where this was. I know where this was 6 years ago, and I will never be that person again. I won't allow myself.
No, you don't want to go back to that person. Like
Absolutely
like
not.
you said, like you look back and it breaks your heart. And you didn't use the words break your heart, but it made you sad. I think it's the words you said, because wow, like she was that broken, and I feel it. I mentioned in the live I did in the community at this point a few weeks back, my journal. I am so glad I wrote things down because it helps me see the growth I have had that I wouldn't be able to pinpoint without acknowledging where she was.
Yeah, and that with the journal too, and also photos.
Mhm.
Start taking photos of yourself now, because then you'll also see where you've come. So yeah, it's definitely heartbreaking when people ask me about like how I felt at the beginning, or like where I was at the beginning. It's I'm okay talking about it, but it is heartbreaking, honestly. It makes me so sad. And I just can't believe I treated myself like that. I can't believe I ever got to that point. Society, the wrong people around you,
It happens
what
quick.
do you expect? It literally will just happen. And you can get right back to that if you're not careful. So it is something that you always have to be aware of. But yeah, it's definitely heartbreaking from where I was to where I am now. I'm just like, I really do want to hug my past self and just tell her it's okay, and you're going to be okay, and you're going to freaking thrive, girl.
And yes, she has. She definitely has. What role would you say Lady Boss has played in this transformation?
Oh my gosh. Lady Boss definitely saved my life. It definitely saved my journey. It definitely saved myself for myself. Um, I, because I know what the other diets and stuff looked like to compared to Lady Boss, I never would have gotten anywhere. I literally would have never gotten anywhere. There was no community, there was no uplifting. It was very much you had to try to reach out to people around you who are also very negative and not uplifting, and like, you're just not doing it right and you just need to do it this way, and all the opinions, right? So with Lady Boss, it's very much just that true tribe, that true community, and that true love for everyone completely changed every single part of my trajectory for my life. Like, I don't know where I would be at if it wasn't for Lady Boss. I definitely wouldn't be here, I can tell you that. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't be this person who has, I guess, a following. Again, I'm very humble on that part, because like I don't know. I'm not gonna be cocky about it, but I guess I
Because
have a
you
following.
work hard to be this person. Like, I know it's not easy. I do it too. I'm like, but you cocky. You worked hard to be her. You
I
deserve
know.
it. You're worthy. Incredible.
Yeah, I definitely would not be here with you or as a coach or even here mentally in a better place if it wasn't for Lady Boss.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I know. Again, I have followed your journey for many, many years, and you've inspired me and motivated me in more ways than you even imagine. You've done that for a lot of women in the Lady Boss community. However, I think they all want to know: are you going to tell us the mermaid recipe?
I mean, if I have to.
I mean, I guess you don't have to, but it's so yummy.
Yes, I'll do it. I'll do it. It was so crazy how this whole drink thing came up too. I just was playing like around with the flavors with like flavor packets, and then obviously vanilla cake, Lady Boss Link, come on now, because it's an amazing protein powder. And I was just like, I wonder what this. I actually never tried it before I went live and did it. Never tried it. I literally just went live and I was like, we're just gonna try this together. And if it's bad, we're gonna know together. Like, that's what we're gonna do. And I actually did that with a lot of things all the time. So, anyways, here is the famous mermaid water. Okay, it's about 16 ounces of water, obviously with some ice. One blue raspberry starburst drink packet, just one, just chef's kiss. One scoop of that Lady Boss lean, and what I do is put it in a shaker cup and I like blend it together that way, and then I pour it over top ice. And then what I like to do, because it's a little bougie, is I'll splash a little bit of coconut milk in there, and it's chef's kiss, so good.
I've never tried it with coconut milk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to do that. That's
It's a game
yep.
changer.
I'm thinking like spring, sun shines out, nice refreshing drink. Way better
Oh.
than the Starbucks refresher.
Um, Protein, and it's less calories, guys.
Less sugars, all the things.
All the things.
Oh, you're gonna have to, maybe go live in the community and make this again for everyone.
You know what? I probably will.
You should. You should. You definitely should.
It's been a while, so.
It has. You made a post on social a few weeks ago, and you said, I have it in my notes. I quoted it. You're like a phoenix rising from the ashes. And that, it's such a powerful image. You're like a phoenix rising from the ashes. What message would you give to women listening who right now in this moment feel lost and defeated?
So, which I'm actually getting chills because, like, kind of putting myself back into those places where I felt like I was being burnt down to the ground. Um, One part in my journey, everyone had left. Everyone, my friends, everyone just had left me.
Mm.
They turned me into this terrible person that I wasn't. And it was a lot of miscommunication, or they just didn't want to hear my side. So it was either fine, I'll be the villain. I'll show you what the villain looks like, or you can stomp me down and burn me, burn my name all you want. I'm going to come back 10 times stronger. Watch me. So I decided, because I'm not this evil person, I'm not a villain. I have this giant heart and I want to help everybody and I want to just be good. I decided to rise like a phoenix and become even better. And so every time that life decided to punch me down, every time that life decided that I need to be knocked down, I was like, all right, that's fine. Knock me down. But I'm going to come back 10 times stronger, 10 times better, 10 times filled with love. Like, literally, I'm going to come back better. Come on, life. Bring it on. So that is like how I've been living lately is, all right, life, I see you. I got my eyes on you. I know how you work. I know how you love it when I'm thriving and then you decide to knock me down. I love that for you. Keep doing that, because guess what? I keep coming back better. I keep coming back stronger. I
Preach.
keep coming back with more full of life. So yes, with things that I have went through, even in my entire life before I even got to Lady Boss, I've made it through all those. I've made through all those times that I should have been burnt to the ground. I've made it through. So I've been a phoenix all along, baby. So have you. So have you. It's just time for you to recognize it. You have made, like I think Jocelyn said, you have made it through all your worst days. You have survived all your worst days. Yes, absolutely. You are a phoenix. Rise.
Love it. I've got nothing to say. Like, I'm speechless. Cherry on top. Mic drop. We're done. Bye, bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
So, I don't know. What's next for Miss Christina Hicks?
Well, again, we never know what happens in the future. We don't have any idea. We don't have any inkling of what could happen or what opportunities will come my way. All I know is that right now, I'm really focusing on my own health and fitness journey, getting me back to me completely. And then I'm hoping to possibly start coaching again or seeing what other opportunities come my way. I know for a fact I am going to be taking more courses on things like women's health. I want to take courses on like more mindset so I can understand more of the mind when it comes to people and women and clients in general, and whatever the case may be. Like, I want to just be able to, that's my goal, and something I've always wanted is just to always help people, no matter what it looks like. I knew I always wanted to help people. I just want to help people thrive and grow and be the best versions of themselves. I just never knew what it looked like until now it looks like, from the inside out, I get to help women be the best versions of themselves and get rid of society and that generational trauma and help them thrive. So, whatever that looks like in the future, I don't know. But I just know it's going to be awesome.
You've got the vision. I love it. Thank you so much for being on with me today and sharing your story. It is truly incredible.
Thank you so much for having me. This is, again, it's such an honor.
It's an honor for me. I have, like I said when we started, I'm so glad you said yes, and it's been incredible. I feel so lucky to have gotten to sit here and get the inside scoop on your story. I have one final question that I like to ask everyone at the end of each interview session with them. And it's, what makes you feel unstoppable? When do you feel unstoppable?
Honestly, it's when I've helped somebody. Yeah, that has to be what it is. Like, It's when I help somebody. It's when I help another, especially another female, when I help another female feel good, when I can put a smile on their face, when I can uplift them, when I can give them a little bit of confidence. I'm like, oh yeah, like sparkling, girl. Like you said yesterday, it's not just you. It makes me feel good too. It literally makes me feel good too. It to know that I just like brightened up your day. You could have had a crap day, and I made like, hey, you look really good in that outfit. Oh, thanks. I'm like, you're welcome.
I saw that smile, and that just made my day that I made you smile like that.
Literally, yes. Just knowing also like I'm to this day, every day, fighting to break the generational trauma, the generational curses. My girls are living with a great role model who loves herself and who's also very realistic and knows that bad days happen. And I talk to with my children about that. So that's also another feeling when I feel unstoppable is when I have conversations with my daughters about bad days, when we talk about and talk through emotions, something that I've never had. Just knowing that I'm changing the course of their lives from what I had makes me feel very much limitless and unstoppable.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Lady Boss listeners, I thank you for being here with us today. I challenge you to like and subscribe this podcast. You do not want to miss the fire that comes. There's so many more stories and information and goodness and value coming your way through this podcast. But also, definitely stay connected with Tina. She is in your corner. She is cheering you on every step of the way. So go follow her. Do you happen to have your social handles like ready to tell everyone by chance?
I do. So I have a Facebook page called Hicks Fix. I can follow me on my personal page, Christina Hicks on Facebook. On Instagram, I have Hicks Fix as well, and I actually have Ohio Mando Jeep. If you want to follow my, Jeep stuff. And then TikTok, I'm on TikTok too at Ohio Mando Jeep. So
go check them out. And we'll try to link her social pieces in the show comments as well. It has been a pleasure again, Christina, to talk with you. I know these ladies here have eaten it up and loved it. Lady bosses out there, remember, just like Christina said, you are a phoenix. So keep rising and find your way back to you. Have an amazing week, and we will see you again next Tuesday.